So let me just invite you to come into a seated position. Now, one sort of seated upright, not just completely leaning back in a chair. So feeling the body here, feeling yourself kind of present, feeling the body from the inside, just here alert, but also resting the muscles as much as possible. So bringing your shoulders up and back a little bit, pulling your chin back a little bit. And just noticing the conditions. And so what I want to do is some of these tapping techniques on different areas of the body. And then in the process, we'll also be warming them up. So to begin with, just moving your head gently from side to side. Look over one shoulder and then the other. And just see if there's any tenderness. There's any constriction. I certainly find that one way that I turn, it just, my neck tightens up, that the range of motion isn't so great. And now doing the same thing, moving the head side to side, but with your ear, one ear coming down toward the shoulder on that side. So continuing to sit with an upright posture. Again, I notice, on the same side, my neck feels a little tight. And then up and down. Just noticing, a little bit of stretching in the spinal cord. Now, if you're doing anything and there's, like a sharp pain or something unusual, of course, don't keep doing that. But notice the areas that are tight. Maybe even moving your head a couple more times just to really get a good feeling for the tightness. So we're not approaching this like it's a bad thing that we're trying to get rid of, but rather it's a thing that's right here, right now. I have these certain sensations in my neck that are here right now. So with an attitude of acceptance, this is how it feels. And just trying as best you can to keep those sensations in mind. Paying attention to that, letting your attention be there. Again, not with resistance, but just noticing, how tight is it? What's the shape? Or if I were to give it a number. All right. Now again, just sitting comfortably, but alertly. And noticing the tenderness or whatever you would call it. And maybe even repeating to yourself this tenderness, this tightness, whatever, whatever word is for you. But just repeating that to yourself kind of helps the attention stay there. And now you're going to use, 3 or 4 fingers and just starting right on top of the head and just tapping. And with a rhythm, that works for you. There's some sort of innate rhythm. Okay, just on the middle of the head. I'm saying this tenderness. Now let your fingers come down the center of the forehead, and then moving off center slightly, tapping on the inner corner of one eyebrow. I usually use maybe 2 fingers here, if whatever feels comfortable. So we're not tapping hard enough to bruise, but you can feel that. And now letting your fingers just follow the eyebrow to the outer corner of the eye. And here we're tapping on the bony structure around the eye. And just continuing with this pattern of tapping with sort of an awareness of the tenderness. Now, letting your fingers move under the eye. Now, this is sort of on top of the cheekbone, or again on the bony structure around the eyes. Tapping here, being aware of the tenderness. Now coming down to your upper lip, the area between your nose and your lip, actually, just tapping here. And moving your fingers below the lips, or between the lip and the chin. And I can already just feel this general settling within my body. You know, I can hear it in my voice even. Now coming to the chest, and this area just inside of the intersection between the sternum and the collarbones. So this is over the softer tissue. And just tapping here, noticing the awareness on the tenderness. And pausing, be taking a deep breath. And even as you do this, if you find yourself sighing or taking a deep breath, it's a little message, you know, that the nervous system is paying attention. Okay, now once again, moving your head side to side. And just noticing whether or not, you know, you've experienced any change. You know, I certainly have, and we'll save a little time to talk about it. But now, just as a way of warming up, so coming back to this side to side with the neck, a couple of times, and bringing the ear toward one shoulder and then the other. And then the next time you bring your ear toward a shoulder, pause here, and then let your gaze turn so that you're looking up toward the ceiling. So still with the ear toward the shoulder, and then looking up toward the ceiling. And now turning the head to look down toward the floor. And coming back to center, letting the other side, the ear, move toward the shoulder, and just letting your shoulders be relaxed. If you notice that they kind of tighten up, just letting them go And now turning the gaze toward the ceiling. Just pausing here, letting the shoulders relax. And turning the gaze toward the floor. And then coming back, just coming back. And now with one hand on one side of the head, pushing your head into the hand. And then relaxing. And we'll do that one more time and just really notice. So pushing the head into the hand, noticing those muscles in the neck engaged. And now relax. And really see if you can feel that activity of the muscle relaxing. Okay, and then the other side, pushing your head into your hand and letting your shoulders be as relaxed as possible, relaxing the neck, feeling maybe this warmth or blood sort of moving into the area. And then once again, pushing the head, relaxing the neck. And now the same thing with your hand on the forehead, pushing your head forward, feeling the muscles in the back of the neck engage, and then letting go. And then with your hands behind the head, pushing your head back and letting go. All right. So now bringing your awareness to the shoulders, to this whole sort of apparatus, with the collarbones, the shoulder blades, and these muscles, and here the top of the rib cage, the arms joining up to the shoulders, just feeling into that whole area. And then moving sort of one shoulder and then the other, just slowly bringing the shoulder up toward the ear and letting it relax. And if there's any tenderness with any of these moves, really kind of pinpointing, where do I feel that? How big are the sensations? What are they like? Like I have an area that's usually on the front of my shoulder, about the size of my finger. It changes. Now just bending the arm, bringing one elbow in front of you and gently pulling the elbow a little bit. Again, just to feel that stretching in the back of the shoulder. Now the other side. And noticing not only the stretching, but even the ease with which you raise the hand. I really noticed that, just the movement itself felt a little constricted. All right. Now, bringing to mind those sensations, maybe moving the shoulders a little bit to get sort of a clearer image in your mind's eye. Again, with acceptance, your mind might want to tell you some story about how that happened, or doesn't matter. What we're paying attention to is what's here right now. What do I feel right now? And then we're doing this tapping. So noticing these sensations, tapping on top of the head. Just with tap, 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 tap. Or there may be a rhythm again that your body just picks up on, and bringing your fingers down the forehead Moving a little bit off center and tapping at the inner edge of the eyebrow. Noticing the tenderness. Inviting the body to be relaxed. And letting your fingers come to the side of the eye. And then under the eye. Under the nose. On the chin, under the lower lip. And on the chest. And then just coming to stillness. And now noticing again, just moving gently. Now seeing if you notice any difference. And now sometimes we don't. If I'm doing this on my own, I may go through that a few times. And quite honestly, if I'm doing this on my own, I can move through it pretty quickly. And within the philosophy of acupuncture meridians, they're like pathways of energy moving through the body. And tapping on these meridians, it's like shaking a hose, or that movement moves through the whole hose. And so this is just allowing the whole body to transmit this rhythm and this invitation of more spaciousness. And now just, again, moving your shoulders. And then here, raising one shoulder and sort of leaning into that. So you're going to feel that stretch all the way down the side of the rib cage. Now the other side. Because here we're just trying to loosen up kind of the whole skeletal system. And engaging all these big muscles. All right, bringing both arms in front of you and sort of pulsing. And then bringing your elbows back. And pulsing. And now the arms in front again, different arm on top. Just these little pulsing, feeling this stretching in the back of the shoulders and the upper back, and then the other way, feeling this stretching in the front of the shoulders, the upper chest. And coming to stillness. And just feeling that, feeling through the body. All right. So quick and easy.